What the hell is Groundhog Day is a question you're probably asking considering you clicked on this video. But what I'm asking is, what the hell is Groundhog Day? So naturally, I chucked it into Google to find the smartest joke in the world, and after taking a few good minutes to get it, I found the Wikipedia page, which says
Groundhog Day is a 1993 American fantasy comedy film.
But that's just about the movie, and I want to know about, like, the actual day. So I'm still left with the question, what the hell is Groundhog Day? And because so far all I've done is just waste time, you're probably still asking, what the hell is Groundhog Day? If you didn't get what was up with all the repetition, let me catch you up to speed. Groundhog Day, as mentioned earlier, is a comedy film which follows a guy as he basically experiences the same day, Groundhog Day, over and over again. You see the reference now? It's a real thinker. It's a smart one. And I've watched it and liked it, but either I'm dumb and missed something, or it didn't really explain what Groundhog Day actually is, because it's not really relevant to the film. And also I'm just gonna put a disclaimer here, saying that I am Australian, and we don't have Groundhog Day here, and yeah, all my research is from the internet. But if you do have any, like, first-hand experience with Groundhog Day, feel free to let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty curious. So, what's with the groundhogs? Why is there a day for them? Let's start by talking about badgers. Why? Shut up. Now, badgers are native to some places, but notably Germany. European badgers are nocturnal burrowing animals, so they only come out of their burrows to forage and socialize around nighttime. When specifically in the night they come out varies a lot, and it depends on the amount of light, the weather, and human disturbance. And I guess these creatures were mysterious enough that German people were like, holy shit, this has to mean something. So they were linked to a Candlemas superstition that a clear day would indicate a prolonged winter. Candlemas, a Christian holiday on the 2nd of February, was to be marked as Badger Day, or Dachstag, because they were German, you know, to which some Protestant reformers were like, please don't call it Badger Day, to which everyone else was like, no. So badgers were used for weather forecasting, wherein if a badger emerged from its set, that's the name for a badger's den, to see a shadow because of the sunny day, it would mean that there'd be another 4 weeks of winter. And if it was cloudy and there was no shadow, it would mean an early spring. Or as Wikipedia translates the German formula, if the badger sunbathes during Candlemas week, for 4 more weeks he will be back in his hole. And no, I'm not reading the German version of that. So how does this have anything to do with groundhogs? Find out next time on... Hello, it's me, immigrating from outside of the frame to within the frame, just like some mostly German people immigrated to Pennsylvania in the 1700s and 1800s because they didn't have religious freedom in Europe. What a smart joke, I know. So German people moved to Pennsylvania, making them, of course, Pennsylvania Dutch. This is because the aforementioned German people use the word for German in German, which sounds like Dutch, to describe themselves, so Pennsylvania Dutch isn't actually related to Netherlands. But why Pennsylvania? Well, because some guy called William Penn was like, bro, come to my place, it's named after me, yeah, it's sick, you can have all the religious freedom you want, goddammit, just come to my place, it's sick. So they did, and it was. But he didn't mention that there were no fucking badgers. How will the Badger Day tradition be continued without badgers? What are we gonna do? The Pennsylvania Dutch, however, remained determined, as they pointed to a groundhog and were like, yeah, that's close enough. So that's why we have Groundhog Day. I spent 2 days looking at the Wikipedia page for groundhogs. So that's why on February 2nd, a groundhog's decision to sunbathe or not will change the length of a season by 6 weeks. And yeah, it's 6 weeks, not 4 like the Candlemas tradition, because I guess someone forgot or something. What it also doesn't explain though is the weird amount of Groundhog Day lore that I discovered thanks to Wikipedia. So the most popular Groundhog Day ceremony is held in Punxsutawney in Pennsylvania, and it starts before sunrise, and there's music and food, and of course the star, semi-mythical groundhog named Punxsutawney Phil, which, if you ask me, kind of weird name. I was gonna make a joke about it, but I don't really fancy doxing myself. But back to the semi-mythical groundhog. This guy has one hell of a fan club. called the Inner Circle. A bunch of top hat and tuxedo wearing people just casually give him the elixir of life every year to sustain him, which is apparently effective enough to keep the same groundhog alive for 135 years. Also, from the powers of the acacia wood cane that the president of the Inner Circle has, they can understand groundhogese and communicate to the public the words of a mighty
Punxsutawney Phil, seer of seers, sage of sages, prognosticator of prognosticators, and weather prophet extraordinary.
which is apparently his full name according to this beautiful website. But just how accurate is this magical groundhog? Well, if you ask me, it's kind of hard to judge. Take this with a grain of salt, coming from someone who lives in a place where winter may as well not exist. That it's kind of hard to judge that, like, a section of 6 weeks can just be objectively spring-like or winter-like weather. Nonetheless, Phil is an absolute Chad with a 100% accuracy with his predictions of spring and winter. But according to some non-believers, his predictions are only correct around 40% of the time. So yeah, something's pretty sus here. The non-Phil truthers, the president of the Inner Circle, the Cane. One of you is a sussy baka, right? But if we are to believe the doubters and agree with the fact that in 2020 longer winter was predicted, but there was the 10th warmest March in over a century, if we were to hypothetically doubt the powers of the almighty Punxsutawney Phil, it'd mean that you'd have a more accurate guess by asking the president of the Inner Circle the prediction and saying the opposite of what they say. Or if you really want, you can find a wild groundhog and watch it at the crack of dawn as it emerges from its set and flip a coin. Happy Groundhog Day.